Right, okay, let's get started. So what version is this, or what year?
1617 V1.
V1, section A. Right, let's get started. So can someone please read the A question to me? Oh, you can read it to me. Mo will read it to me.
Point A lies at minus 5 and 6.
Okay. Wait. Minus 5 and 6. Okay.
Point A. Point B lies at 9 and minus 15.
Oh, the question isn't what's the equation of the line, is it?
Find the equation of the line which is perpendicular to the line AB, and they want it in the form of AX plus BY plus C equals 0.
As perpendicular to AB,
Yeah.
and it passes through A or B, or the midpoint?
Point A.
Passes through A. Fine. So let's get the slope. Minus 15 minus 6 over 9 minus 5. That's minus 21 over 14, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
So that means the m is really 14 over 21 because it's perpendicular. Yeah? So y equals mx plus c. Let's sub in a. We have to sub in a actually.
So you can simplify to 2 over 3.
Oh, goodness sake. Sorry, the Ramadan's making me very I can't concentrate.
I should be saying.
No. See, I feel so bad for you. It's distracting me. It's
It's just your good nature.
it is, yeah. No, I worry so much about my little students. Okay, so let's put the A in there. Why can't we put the B in?
Because
It doesn't pass through B, yeah. So we got minus 6 equals, what's that going to be? Minus 10 over 3, isn't it? Plus C.
Yeah.
So C equals 23 over 3. Is that right? 6 plus 10 over 3? No, 28 over 3, isn't it? Yeah. So we get y equals 2 over 3x plus 28 over 3. We should multiply by 3, yeah. So we get 3y equals 2x plus 28.
Oh, yeah.
2x minus 3y plus 28 equals 0.
Is it okay if you took the x's?
Yeah, so you have minus 2x plus 3y. Yeah, that's fine. As long as there was nothing in the question that says anything about the a in the ax.
They said just A, B, and C are integers, so it can't be.
Yeah. Okay. Take a second just to check your answer. Let me see if I can open the exam here. Okay. Actually, sorry, I need to text Emer. I have Emer's number. I do. Great. Okay. Right. What's the next one? Mo, do you want to give us the second one there?
Sorry.
Or anybody?
Yeah, x squared minus 6x plus 10, that's the equation. They want it in the form of x minus p.
Complete the square.
Complete the square.
Yeah. So that's going to be x minus 3 squared plus 1.
Yes.
Did they want you to do anything with it?
Yeah.
Sketch it.
Yeah.
Right, so for goodness sake, make sure you get the vertex, which is at 3, 1. And also it crosses the axis here at 10. You might not have to draw that, but there's no harm in drawing it.
They said that.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, the
Okay.
minus scheme.
Is that everything then?
Yes.
Okay. I'll open the exam here. Maths for science. Which version 1?
Yeah.
17, 18? No, 16. 16, 17, sorry.
So for version 2, I didn't find the marking scheme.
Ah, you're confusing me. What's wrong? What's wrong with version 2?
Yeah, I didn't find the marking scheme. That's all.
Ah,
There's no marking
did
scheme.
you look?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's life. If there isn't one there, I don't have it. I uploaded everything I have on my computer. So for some reason I don't have it, perhaps because they didn't give it to me. I don't know. But anyways, I'm going to go through version 2.
Yeah, I didn't.
That's my next exam. Right, question 3 now.
Yes.
So we have 3 terms that are arithmetic.
Yes.
Consecutive arithmetic. So that means that the second term, minus the first term, is equal to the third term, which is, well, it's also equal to D, yeah, minus the second term. Because they're both equal to D. So what's that? 2k minus 5 equals k plus 1?
Yes.
So that means k equals 6.
Yes.
Yeah, it's alright for 4 marks. Four now. Yeah? Hmm? No, I have it here now. So we need to solve 3 log base 3 x minus 3 equals 7. I will divide by 3. And then we can say 3, that 3 precisely, to the power of 7 over 3 equals x minus 3. That's the definition of log. So we got our answer. X equals 3 plus 3 power 7 over 3. Oh, but we wanted 3 significant figures. So what does that work out to be?
16.0.
16.0?
Because it's 15.98.
Yeah, okay. Five next. Five? Yeah. I think there's 2 answers. Yeah?
There's only 2 answers,
Yeah.
but I don't know them.
Scroll down.
Sir, can you repeat that rule that you gave us about the cycle and the two something. There was
What are you
something
talking
that, like,
I'm always going on about something. Which something is it?
in what, like, how many answers you will find if you decide.
It's 2 answers for every 360 degrees.
Okay.
But if you multiply by 2 theta, then you get 4 answers for every 360 degrees. But this is only 180 degrees, so then you get half of that.
Yeah.
So 2 answers then. Tan 2 theta is 21 over 25. So on the calculator, what is tan inverse of 21 over 25? 40.03.
Yes.
Now the second answer for tan is 180 plus the first answer, that's 220.03. And for tan and sine and cos, you get the next 2 answers by adding 360. So that's 400.03 and 580.03 degrees. So I divide by 2 and I'll get 20.015, but the 3 significant figures, that will be 20. This one will be 110, this one will be 200, and this one will be 290. Now, we need to, these two answers are okay, we need to fix these. However, if we try to fix them, we have a problem. It doesn't work because if we minus 360, they're still outside the range. So we can never get these inside our range of 0 to 180. So there's only two answers, 20 degrees or 110 degrees. Yeah.
Because there are only two answers,
Mhm.
you don't need to calculate the other two.
Yeah, but we never knew, we didn't know at the beginning which two answers would be the ones we keep, you know. Like, I mean, I could easily imagine a question where it ended up being these two and not the first two.
So,
Yeah.
would you take marks off if I kept the 0.15? 0.15?
For this one, no. No. Yeah. 6 now? Yeah. Y equals 4x squared plus mx plus 1. When x is 1, the normal has a slope of minus a half. So what's dy dx here? 8x
Yeah, plus
plus m. And when x is 1, that's equal to 8 plus m. Sorry, when I put in 1, I get 8 plus m. That's the slope of the tangent. The slope of the normal will be minus 1 over 8 plus m. Or, actually, you know what, another way to think about it a little bit neater is if I have my tangent, there's my normal. The normal has a slope of minus a half. So what does the tangent have as a slope? 2. Okay, so this fella here is supposed to equal 2. Because if it equals 2, then the normal will have the right slope. So what does that make the m?
minus 6.
Minus 6 is the answer.
So how did you get the m?
How did I get the m?
Yeah,
What do you mean?
like you got 8 plus m.
Equals
Where
2.
did you get the 2?
Ah, because the normal is minus a half. This is given.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we look at 7. I went down to the mosque yesterday hoping to get coffee and cake, hoping that maybe they'll still be open for the non-Muslim visitors, but no, closed. So I was wondering, do they open up at night then? I mean, after, maybe they're open late. That would make sense. I'm not here that late to get my coffee and cake, so I'll just have to wait till Ramadan's over. Okay, 7. Integrating from 1 to a, 4x plus 5 dx equals 10a. Yeah? So, what does that become? 2x squared plus 5x, 1 to a, equals 10a. Yeah? Right, we put the a in. That's 2a squared plus 5a minus 2 minus 5 equals 10a. So that means 2a squared minus 5a minus 7 equals 0. So what are our 2a values here? Do we have them?
So it's
7
plus 3.
Hmm?
Should it be minus?
Hmm?
No, it's minus.
Plus 3?
Yeah, because it's when you substitute the 1.
Yeah, so it's like this, Mo, minus 2 plus 5, right?
Oh, okay.
Well, what's the a?
2a minus 7.
Ah, you got the factors. 2a minus 7 and a plus 1.
Yes.
So the a is minus 1 or 7 over 2.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Yes.
because a is given as the upper limit.
No. No. The answer is no. It can be smaller.
Yeah?
You don't have to pick the bigger one. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Really? Yeah. Yeah. We talked about this. Yeah. I know it seems like it can't be smaller because it's always bigger, but there's no rule that says it can't be smaller than 1. It can't really equal 1 because it's not really anything meaningful if it equals 1. You know. So the only thing I would exclude A from being at the beginning is perhaps 1. Perhaps. Okay, 8. Yeah. Bring down the power. Reduce the power by 1. Multiply by the inside derivative. Sub in 2. So that's times 12. I can do this. 60 times 2, 4, 8, 16. I can do this. That would be 160. Or would not. No, it would be. It'd be 160 times 6, which is 600 and 960?
Yes.
Oh, sweet. Okay, 960. Well, okay, so obviously you didn't have to do that if you had a calculator. It's an easy 4 marks. It's easy 4 marks, I think. 9. Yeah, scroll down. Integrate log x times x power 5 dx. Okay, so f is log x, f derivative 1 over x, g derivative x power 5, and g is 1/6 x power 6. And the rule is this is equal to f g minus integrate f derivative times g, which basically makes x5 here because it's 1 over x times x power 6. So you cancel an x. So the final answer is 1/6 x6 log x minus 1/36 x6 plus c. Right. Can I scroll down? 10? 10. You want the volume. So the rule is it's pi, you integrate from pi over 6 to pi over 2 y squared, which is 1 minus cos x dx. So that's equal to pi x minus sine x, pi over 2, pi over 6. You put in your pi over 2 and you'll get pi over 2 minus 0. No, minus 1. Minus pi over 6 minus sine pi over 6, which is root 3 over 2. It's 1 over 2? Thanks. 1 over 2. So what's a half pi? 3? 2/3 pi? Yeah? No. I can do this. 1/3 pi. 1/3 pi. And then multiply by pi is pi squared. Minus 1 plus a half is minus a half. Minus pi over 2. Yeah? Okay. 11. Find x if the mean is 11. So you have 3 plus 7 plus 8 plus 10 plus 13 plus x over 6 is 11. So that means they all add up to make 66. So x will be 66 minus 3 minus 7 minus 8 minus 10 minus 13. Which is?
24.
What is it?
Yeah.
24?
25.
25. 11. 12. Yeah. Oh, I thought that was too easy for 4 marks. Fine. So standard deviation, we'll use the formula sigma equals square root we have to get the average of the squares first, which would be 9 plus 49 plus 64 plus 100 plus 169 plus 625 over 6 minus 625, because that's the square of the average. So what does that work out to be? Oh, sorry, the average is not 625, sorry, it's 121. 121. Okay, so what is that, so? 6.95. Okay. 12. Sample of n lengths of cable is selected. The standard deviation is 3. And find n. Okay, so basically what they're telling you is that the mean minus 1.96 sigma, which we know, over root n, that's equal to 24.03. And the mean plus 1.96 times 3 over root n, that's equal to 26.97. And what are we looking for? The n?
Yes.
So I'll minus them. The second minus the first. So that will be 6 times 1.96 over root n equals whatever the difference is here. What is the difference between those two? 2.94. So that means n would be 6 times 1.96 over 2.94 squared. What's that? 16. Okay. Yeah. What did we think of that section A now? 12 was a little tricky. Maybe 6 was a little tricky. But everything else we've done in class, in the workbook. Right? Like there isn't a question there that we haven't done in the workbook. They're all workbook questions. So we're all fine. If I look at section B, question 1 looks okay. 2 looks usual. 3, some of you won't like. 4, some of you won't like. 5 is alright. 5 is nice. I like 5. And I like 6 as well. I really think 1, 2, 5, 6 are the best 4 in this paper. Yeah. We haven't done section B yet, right? No. Okay. So, we got a few minutes left. We can get started on section B. And then I think after the break, we'll do... I hope maybe you can get B1 and most of B2 finished now. And maybe we'll do B1 and B2 after the break then in class. Okay, so can you get start then on those? Yeah.
Could I ask for that?
Version 2?
Version 3.
Version 3 now? Alright. Which question?
B4.
B4. Yeah? Which part?
C.
Nice. C part 1?
Yeah. And yeah, 3.
So, the chain rule. The bottom squared. Sorry, I meant to say quotient. Yeah, bottom squared. The bottom times the derivative of the top, and the derivative of 4 power x is 4 power x log 4. Minus 4 power x times 4x cubed is the answer. We did this guy in semester 1 and 2.
Yeah, I remembered it when you said this.
Yeah.